and welcome to another episode of the Fight Stars podcast. I'm your host, Madison. This show gets better and better and better each episode. I have the new WBC Interim Light Middleweight Champion of the World, Brian Mendoza, in the house. It is an honor, man. How's it going? What is champ life like?
Man, it's really wild to be hearing intros like that, man. It's just still surreal. But no, man, life is amazing. And just tons of opportunities and everything coming in. Just it's a lot to take in, but I'm soaking up every bit of it.
That's what I'm, man. It's just been that knockout you had. It's been viral. It's been all over the internet, just from everything that's going on. Fundora is no joke, too.
Yeah.
You know, and the way you knocked him down, it was just like, it was just something to see, because it was just unexpected, just because of the reign he's had in the division. And then for you to come in there and just hold your ground with somebody like that, it was just a blessing to see. But, you know, it's been a few weeks now as champ, man. Like, what's been going on with life? What's champ life like?
Like I said, like the main thing, cause yeah, there's all like positive, negative, like just everything coming at you, but tons of opportunities, man. Like being on podcasts like this, the dope side. That's the positive part, man. Just like, the connections I'm making, like just meeting people, but it's just been crazy, man. And then no, but the knockout, I think, is what really, put the stamp on it, because, if I would have won, like, just barely, like, a close fight or something like that, but just that final seal I put on it, I guess, that's like, what really, like you said, everything going viral. So it just made it hit that much deeper, but it's just wild, man. It's like I got my own little Cinderella Man story going, but
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
So let's just go to that knockout real quick. It was like you had hit him, and then you realized he was still standing, which was crazy to me, because you hit him with such force, and you were like, "Nah, I'm ending this right now." Like,
Yeah.
was that going through your mind? It was just to
Oh,
finish it
yeah.
right then and there.
Yeah, because like you said, that he's a problem. Like the guy's a machine. He's like a rock'em sock'em robot. He's just gonna keep throwing. So I was like, I see my enemy hurt. I'm getting him out of there. I'm not gonna let you recover. Take a knee. Take a break. I gotta try to get you out of there in that exact moment. That's what you saw. That was like that killer instinct, because you saw, like, in the same little step back I took right away, I was immediately charging back in. So I got to thank my instinct for that, because I didn't think in that moment, like, oh, get him out of there. It's just, like on the drop of a dime.
That fight was so interesting to me, because he's got such height and such length, but it seemed like you guys were both fighting in the pocket, and to me, I was like, this isn't going to be good for him, because you were just relentless, and he was hitting you and you were hitting him back, but I just didn't understand the way he was trying to fight you, and he wasn't really using his size the way he did, which, in the end, it was a benefit to you, and how you fight. And I was just like, I just can't believe this happened, man. Like, you really did your thing, and I'm just like so happy for you. And so, like, what is next for you now? What is there any talks about a next fight, or are you gonna fight Charlo? Like,
Let's hope so,
yeah,
man.
that's how, is that
That's
what it
the
is?
Yeah, that's the fight I'm calling for. All day. That's the fight I want. But I know they've been trying to line up the fight with him and Tim Su. He's that guy's holding a interim belt for another organization, and so we're the mandatories. We're right there at the top. But injuries, this and that, they've had, so that fight's dragging. But I'm still, fingers crossed that fight falls through and I get the Charlo fight. But if not, I just the same way I've been coming up. I just accept the fights. I let my team do it. Fights that people thought were impossible to win and this and that. But I just told my team, get me the best fight possible. Like, whether, whatever it is. If I want the Charlo fight, that's like, he's got the undisputed. He's got all the other belts.
Yeah.
So that's obviously, that's what I want, because I'm chasing greatness. At first, it's like my career's gone in stages. Came from obscurity, then I got like the comeback story, and at this point, I'm gonna start chasing legacy. So it's just keep evolving, and people keep saying, "Oh, this was impossible. Then this was impossible." So it just keep doubting me, but me and my team, we're just grinding and making these things happen.
You're
But
from New Mexico, right?
yes, sir, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
How's the city been feeling about this win?
Amazing, man. I'm actually I'm trying to set up something for like June to go out there and visit. They say, like, meet the mayor and all that stuff, and then
Wow.
uh New Mexico is a big, like, fight state. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people say fight town, but it's a whole state.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in New Mexico, they love fighting, just the whole, like, the sport, and big supporters, man. Like, Johnny Tapia, like, they used to pack out the stadiums for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping to follow a path like that, man. Just just get connected to the community and everything, and then just really like put New Mexico on the map. You know, like even after that fight, I'm in a world title fight and I'm yelling New Mexico stand up after. So it's just it's that hometown love, you know, that pride from where I come from.
Yeah, we were talking right before we started recording, and we were talking about my tattoo because I have got Dragon Ball Z on
Fire
here.
tattoo.
Yeah, and it's just that the Saiyan mentality we were speaking about is like if you can't knock me down or kill me, like I'm gonna get back up and get stronger. And you were saying that's
Exactly.
kind of like your mentality in the ring.
Yeah, like man, I was that little kid trying to turn Super Saiyan all the
Yeah,
time when I was little.
I
Like,
think we all did.
yeah, it was just that's just something like I was always in awe, you know, like even before I started even watching boxing and any like the real life, you know, like combat stuff. It was I grew up on that, and I felt like that was just ingrained in my head. Like I don't care what storm I have to weather, like what I got to go through, I'm gonna come out on top. You find a way. You just whatever it is, like you can damn near close to death, but you can always bounce back. There's as long as you have that heart and the will to keep going. And I feel like that was really instilled in me from a young age because of that, and it's still in me every day, man.
How'd you get into boxing? Like what made you like I'm gonna this is something like I can pursue and really see myself taking this into a career.
So first it was like my dad was always a huge boxing fan, and every weekend it was like fight parties, you know, roasting pigs. Like I'm talking about like parties, like,
Yeah.
and but I didn't care when I was little. Like I would like watch someone if it was like a boring fight or something, I'd take off. I was never interested. Like my dad even told me, he's like, who would have thought that little kid that didn't give a damn about the fights or anything, just running around playing with the other kids and stuff. He's like a champion, you know, like he
Yeah.
really like it's just a turnaround. But it was I was around like 15, 16 when I started watching fights, even Klitschko fights. You know, people think of him as like a boring heavyweight, but just some of those knockouts were wild. And then I watched like Mayweather Gaddy fights
Mm-hmm.
like that. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, this is kind of cool, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like so that it just I got that itch, just that little it piqued my interest. And then after about a year of begging, because they didn't want to let me box, my mom or my dad, because he was a fan, but he's like, my son's not doing that.
Yeah.
And bro, like a year of just come on, like let me try it, because I had some friends at my high school that were boxing and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I just wanted to let me try it. They finally let me, and then it's the whole this regular cliche after that. As soon as I stepped in the gym, I was like, yeah, this is where I belong. Like the smells, you know, the leather, like just all the gym equipment and everything, just something just felt right. I felt at home, and I got that addiction. And just I've been obsessed ever since.
How old were you when you turned pro?
I was 19,
19.
19 when I turned pro.
And then at that time you were like, this is it for me. Like I could see myself taking this to the next level or
Yeah, because everything I do, I used to skateboard
mm-hmm.
before boxing, and I wanted to be a pro skateboarder. So I've always had drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like drive was always there. Like my mom always tells me when I was a baby, I was playing with the truck, and she asked me like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And then I was like, "I want a big truck like this, and we're gonna be rich." Like it's like
Yeah.
such a random thing. Obviously, I said the
Right.
truck because I'm playing with that, but like I've
Right.
I've always been into like cars and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So like it's just always been in me. I feel like you always kind of know you have something, but I didn't have a path. You know, like
Right.
you said, like I found boxing, and that's what made me like, okay, I have a. But any sport I'm in, how can I be the best at this? And then I don't know if that's just the ego or
No, for
what it
sure.
is, but it's that drive. And then before I turned pro, because once you turn pro, like you turn pro because you already believe it.
Yeah.
But like as an amateur, it's like, all right, like I want to, try to, how far can I take this? And I only had like 30 fights as an amateur, but I'm already, trying to push it. I was at
Mm-hmm.
nationals all the time. Like I was like, hey, I just started this, but I'm making it to that level. And then, I went pro, and then I won my pro debut with like a 30-second knockout.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so that was
Just
like,
ended it.
yeah. Oh, just too much adrenaline. There was no control of any emotions. It was just
Yeah.
let loose, and it paid off. But that's I definitely say once I turned pro, that was the turning point. That was like, this is real, like because
Mm-hmm.
it feels so different. And that
Something you did is it's just rare. Like I always ask this question is because you're a champion and not a lot of people will ever be in that position, you know? Like it's really freaking cool to see. And so it's like how do you get there? Like what is like I'm going to be a champion. How, you just put the work in and just hope it's all going to work out, or is there a moment in your career where you're like, all right, I know I'm going to get to that fight that I need, or because it's just so interesting because not a lot of people become champions. Not a lot of people get to that next level right there. And for you, you had 24 fights, and and then you got the opportunity now to fight Fundora, and then you get this, and then you get the win. It's like, to me, it's like, it's like a surreal thing to see, because not everybody becomes a champion, and yeah.
I think you have to be a little crazy, because the stuff I went through, like I got even well before I moved to Vegas, I made it to 16-0. I had like 11 knockouts, something like that, I think, and nobody knew me. So I'm this undefeated pro, this and that. Like nobody knew me because I didn't have the right opportunities. But it's just there's something crazy about it, and just a belief, a faith, you know, just a belief. I can do this. I have something in me. I'm gonna prove. I don't like to talk too much about the doubters, oh, I'm gonna prove these people wrong.
Yeah.
I like the people that believe in me, that small circle, it's for them, man. Like, you really believed in me. Like, we took some losses along the way. Like, we had some setbacks. We had legal issues with like old, people. Like, like as a fighter, you can get, as an athlete, you can get shelved, and that's like everything's canceled.
Yep.
Tons of setbacks, man. Like I've been extremely happy, extremely like depressed.
Yeah.
Everything. So
it's been a roller coaster.
It was true roller coaster, like the most wild ride. But that little bit of craziness, that little bit of faith, and the work ethic. Outside of anything, I'm always the one that people are like, "What are you doing in the gym? It's your birthday. What are you doing in the gym? It's this and that." Now they can't tell me I'm crazy.
Right.
Like,
there was a whole reason for it.
Yeah. So the fact that the work paid off, I was like, I don't want to hear anything now.
Yeah.
Like, let me be in the gym, because even my trainers, like, I'm the type of guy that they have to kick out. So if you have that type of work ethic, your trainers should always be trying to bring it down.
Yeah.
They should never be trying to push you.
Right.
And I mean, of course, there's days you need a little motivation or something, but your work ethic should always be there. The discipline, like Mike Tyson said, discipline is doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it. Because don't just do it. Don't just go through the motions. Like, I always dedicated everything to this, my heart and soul. And that's what you guys see. Like, even in this fight, you said he was landing punches. He was building momentum, but I never cared. Like, people even noticed my face. I was calm when I'd go to the corner. I said, I know what I'm here to do. We're sticking to the game plan, and I'm going to make this happen.
So you made it happen.
Crazy mix of everything, man. A little craziness, work ethic, just all of the above.
That's why I love this sport, because a lot of people don't see, the road work. The getting up early, getting your miles in, the discipline to not go out, to have those nights that you probably shouldn't be having, to eat good, to make sure that you're at your peak performance and you're doing the right things. People don't see that part. They just see you in the ring. You can have a bad fight, but you did everything you can, and they'll just say, "Oh, he wasn't prepared."
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I'm always like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, these guys are really going at it, and for someone like you to really like make this dream come true, it's like, it's so cool to see, man. And I was going nuts because he was wobbling, and then you were like, not today, and
Not
you just
today.
yeah.
Because he actually had a past fight where he got kind of hurt. Not as bad as he was in this fight, but he was a little dazed, and he just took a knee, recovered. The round ended, came back, and he disfigured the other guy. Like, literally made him. The guy looked different when he stepped out of the ring.
Yeah.
And I was like, not tonight.
That's
bro.
not happening to me.
I gotta, and I'm honestly, one of the things I'm most proud of is that it was true instinct, because you can see there's no time to think like, oh, he's hurt, let's get him. It was just boom. Like, get out of here.
That's hard to do, to be in the moment like that, and to really like know, like, you have all the people screaming at you, you got adrenaline up, but you're still locked in,
calm in the eye of the storm.
Exactly. Like, that's really hard to do, and to see that, that's really impressive, man.
Yeah, it's just it's experience, and everything. And I felt that I did always have like a very like calmness about me. Like I said, like my pro debut, that was pure adrenaline. That was a street fight, basically. I just went at the guy and got him out of there.
Yeah.
But still, like, after a few fights, it's just experience. Like you said, I have 24 fights now. I'm 29, so it's like I'm in my prime. Like, it's not, a 18-year-old kid just freaking out trying to swing away. It's experience. It's like you take your life lessons, everything in and out of boxing and stuff, and it all just piles up. It's just crazy. It's like the universe lining up in every way.
Yeah, and we were also talking, you're still, getting your road work in right now, just keeping yourself loose till you get that call, for the next fight or whatever it is. But you said you're going to start, getting back in and boxing next week, right?
Yeah, I just can't, because people are like, oh, like, take a vacation, and Even
Yeah,
this
you didn't even
camp,
do
like,
that, huh?
not really, man. It's
Yeah.
like next week I might be visiting Mexico, but
Right.
it's still kind of a work event. It's to go
Mm-hmm.
see the Canelo fight and to meet the WBC, like everybody at the organization
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So even then, it's like, yeah, I'm taking a vacation, but it's for boxing.
So
Like
you're going down
I
to
always,
Jalisco.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I've
That's
never been to Mexico either, so that's gonna be dope, man.
that's
Just
so cool. So
yeah,
you're gonna be there for the fight and the whole weekend, I
hmm
guess, right?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. The fight, and then Monday and Tuesday I'll be in Mexico City because that's where the WBC is located. So it's
So
just
yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
it's no real vacation.
yeah,
You're going to see these places, but you're still
right.
doing it for work though.
Yeah,
So
and then I also like another reason I'm able to go through all the boring like parts of like training camp and everything is because I love what I do. Like a work event, I'm going to Canelo fight.
I
Like a
know,
work
yeah.
event, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
you need to be thankful for that.
100%.
So I always got to remember to be thankful. I'm blessed. Like come on, this is a work event. Like let's like be hype about it. Like go do this and that, but doing what you love is what also lets you get through the boring parts. Like I'm not
Mm.
going out, I'm not doing anything. I don't like it's just locked in. So like as long as you find what you love to do, that anything's possible, man. You're willing to go through whatever.
That's that man, that's really real. And I think that's cool. Did you happen to see the Garcia fight last week?
I
Tank and
did.
Garcia, what'd you think of it?
I didn't like it, man. I thought he quit.
Yeah?
There's something like in that fight, in my fight, like you see, I started getting touched, and that's what he does. He builds momentum, and he wears you down.
Yeah.
But I didn't care. You really do have to have a willingness to die. But like I said, if you find what you love, like people will be willing to die for what they love.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got to find that. Like you got to find your why.
Yeah.
Everybody always talks about find your why. Like I had my family ringside. I was like, man, you're gonna have to kill me, and it's that. And I don't think Ryan had that in him.
Mm-hmm.
It could be lack of experience because he'd been dropped before, but to the head and the body shots are something different. That'll take your soul.
Yeah.
So he hasn't really gone through that. So
Mm-hmm.
it could be part of that. Like he skipped developmental fights.
He went literally jumped from like, yeah, mid fights to like the biggest fight of his career,
Exactly. Yeah.
with somebody like Gervonta who's so
Yeah.
experienced.
So he did put up a good fight, and then like I said, I really think it was lack of the experience on that side, the maturity, because he's been in the limelight, but still the fights are the fights, whether you're famous or not. Like there's developmental fights you need along the way, and I don't think he had that because first I think he got overconfident too early because he started touching Tank, but you gotta that's the experience. Remember, everybody touches Tank at first.
Yeah.
There's a couple rounds where Tank is kind of downloading information, figuring it out.
Correct.
You can't get excited, so he got overexcited, overcommitted. That's when he got put down the first time, and then that body shot, man. That I don't know, man. That's a question of heart, and that's something he'll have to answer in his next fights or if he moves on with his career or whatever. But that's something he's gonna have to look inside for because one thing you never want is to say in the back of your head like, "Yo, I quit," or like,
Yeah.
"I folded," because that eats at you. Anytime like even just in life, something like that happens, like you'll remember that.
Yeah,
Those are
that
those
thought
like
will just come
cringy,
up.
like yeah,
Yeah.
like those moments, but stuff like that, like I never want to think that in the fight. Like I really didn't go out on my shield. I didn't lay it out on the line. Like,
Yeah, you want to give your all.
yeah, that's why you sacrifice so much. So on fight night, it's time to let it all go. Mayweather actually, it's a small quote, but he said that he doesn't get nervous. He always like he's willing, to go through whatever because he always says, as I'm walking to the ring, he's just thinking it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And for some reason, just that little sentence, that little quote, always again ingrained in my head. Like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like, why be nervous? Why freak out? Like, if you did all the work you got to do, you didn't cut any corners. Like, you're at your best. Just go do you.
So you really study the game then.
Oh,
Did you have
I'm
any
a big time
idols
student.
growing up in boxing that you?
My biggest one that I would study the most and everything is Andre Ward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
SOG.
yeah. He's becoming a pretty polarizing figure, but I've learned so much just off YouTube. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I finally met him a couple years ago here in Vegas, but just all the studying I've got in him, not just boxing but psychology. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen psychology tricks that he uses, like how he like looks people up and down, sees where they're at, and then obviously the boxing is just when I study him, I feel like I'm studying 10 different old school fighters because he's a student of the game. So it's like,
100%.
oh, here's a little trick from Hopkins. Oh, here's a little, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it just keeps blending together. So Ward was definitely my biggest, and then obviously Mayweather because the guy's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's been tons, but as far as my personal, like that's my favorite fighter,
Yeah,
Andre
Andre
Ward.
Ward, he doesn't get enough credit, man.
Hmm.
He went out on his own, like on his own shield, and,
Yeah,
and the way he wanted to do it, and that's why I love it so much, is because he really dictated his career and how
absolutely.
he was gonna go out, and I love that and I respect that. And some people will say, oh, he could have kept fighting, but I mean, he's doing tremendous work
Yeah,
right now for the game, you know?
yeah, and he still is, and yeah, maybe you could say that he should have kept fighting, but like I said earlier, like legal issues can derail everything. He sat for a few years with no fights because
Yeah.
of legal issues,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people don't pay attention to is you can be one of the greats of all time if you have the right dance partners.
Mm.
Mayweather was blessed that he had these insane opponents back to back, and Andre Ward, even like in his weight class, like there's not as often.
Correct.
So it's like you got to get every single one you can get. Like they weren't able to make the Triple G fight happen. I don't know who didn't want that fight, but
Right, right.
there's like all that stuff going on. Like so, if he would have had those early on, people wouldn't have been as upset that he retired when he did. But he missed those key fights, and because I'm saying because of legal issues, like that's why it's like you got to be so thankful and grateful that like to be blessed, like like me, like I was able to make it to this position so far, and I'm still shooting for more. But you can get derailed for any. There's so many bumps in the road that
Yeah.
it's wild. And even a great like Ward, like he fell victim to that, and he was kind of missed a chunk of his career, and that's why people wanted it at the tail end. But if you he had said that like he got to the point where he woke up and he's like, I don't think I can commit 100% of myself to this anymore,
Yeah.
and that's when you need to call it. And that's why he says like he retired with all his faculties intact on his terms. He didn't get retired, he retired.
You're gonna be okay in this game, bro, because you're a student of the game, man. I
Thank
can
you,
already
man.
tell
Thank you.
just from that
Always.
response right there. Like, just to understand and know, like, not just what's in the ring, but outside the ring, and how to navigate yourself through this. Because in boxing, it's like everybody's either I'm better than you, or they're out to get you or take from you, and
Yeah.
you have to really like be careful who comes into your circle, and
Oh,
so do you
it's
do
crazy.
you think moving to Las Vegas was like your best move for your career?
If it wasn't for Vegas, I wouldn't be here.
And you're training
Oh,
over at Solace,
yeah.
right? How's that been? He's a great coach.
Oh, it's insane, man. I'm finally up on his wall of champions. It's crazy, man. Like I go into the gym and every single day. I always look at that list and just visualizing.
Yeah.
Just like even the law of attraction, I'm big on
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. But just man, like really, like even I touched the wall, like the portraits before I even left. To go to the fight. I was like, my name's gonna be up there. My name's up there. My name's up there. And just to make it happen, it's surreal, but it is Vegas changed my life. I'm forever grateful for Vegas because the opportunities I've gotten, the people I've met, just all the connections, opportunities have been insane, and it wouldn't have happened in Albuquerque. Albuquerque is a great place, and I want to try to bring stuff like that back. I want to take big fights to New Mexico. I
Yeah.
want to bring because we have talent, we have all this and that, but we don't have opportunity.
Yeah.
The opportunities you get in New Mexico are a call on 2 3 days notice or something. Hey, we got a fight for you this weekend. Go figure it out. That's what we get, and so it's like you're forced to make it happen. It's like
Yeah.
a struggle. Very few make it because of that because we don't have a path set out. So if I can do even a small contribution like that to New Mexico, that I'm gonna do whatever I can because I want to bring them up.
Well, you've now elevated your platform, so you're able to now be more vocal about it and
Yeah,
really like put your city on the map in your whole state.
exactly. So I
I
got a lot
know
to
I
work to
know in
do.
Albuquerque and in New Mexico there's like, drug addiction and
Hmm.
and I know some MMA gyms out there, they'll allow the fighters to stay there and sleep there just for training. I can't remember the name of the gym, but
Yeah, there's two of them. There's
y-
Jackson Wink and
yes.
Fit NHB. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and I think that's great, and it's really just to bring those opportunities to these guys that really have nothing
yeah,
going on for them. And now that your platform's elevated,
yeah.
now you have that opportunity to really like bring it back. So,
Exactly.
so for as a young fighter, it's like I'm gonna make this move to Las Vegas. How does that go? Like, do you just come with like a little bit of money and just hope or dream, or like how does that
Yeah.
work? Because I talk to a lot of young fighters from all over the country, and they want to do the same thing because this is the mecca.
Man, it was so wild. So like you said, I'm a student of the game, and I was looking like I got to the point where I kind of felt like I hit a plateau. You know, I wasn't learning as much and everything, and like I knew there was more to learn. Like I was like, no, like I want to learn everything I possibly can. So I'm studying even trainers on Instagram and stuff, and I was looking at trainers. Obviously, Andre Ward, like his trainer Virgil Hunter. I saw Ismail Salas training a bunch of fighters, but I saw him training at the time. He was training like David Haye, Jorge Linares in the UK, and I was like, oh man, that would be great, you know, to train with him. But he's always in the UK. I was like, I definitely can't go out there. And then he came back to train Yordenis Ugas for a fight. And I told my dad, I was like, hey, let's go meet him. Like, I had a manager at the time that worked more or less with Salas. So I was like, hey, can you just kind of set up some sparring or something so he could look at me? And I came to Vegas. Ugas actually gave me the opportunity to spar.
Okay.
Even though he was getting ready for a lefty, he gave me that opportunity to spar.
Wow.
So Salas could look at me. So I'm forever grateful for Ugas for that. And I got the opportunity and we linked up. But it was literally like, hey, Salas came back for a couple weeks. Let's go. Like, and Salas is actually from the same city in Cuba that my dad's from. Like they even like ran past each other a few times. Like, and that's way back in Cuba as they were kids. So it's just crazy how life goes full circle and stuff. But I had that, and then yeah, man, to come to Vegas, I got my little coin jar, and I went to the Coin Star, and that was like my gas and food money, bro. Like
there you go.
I was like, I don't care. Like, literally my last dollar.
I'll just make this work.
Yeah, and then we had a friend of the family that we were staying at his house for a while. I stayed at his house for like a few months, and that's how I got my start here. It was literally like Coin Star here, take all my quarters. And then let's go figure it out. Like literally figure it out. And that's why I repeat, you got to be a little crazy to really chase that dream, because looking back, that's pretty wild.
That is really wild. I mean, to do all that to now be the champion, it's like
it is insane.
You just can't give up, man.
Never give up. Like, if that's one thing I'm proof of, because I didn't have, like I did after my debut, that 30-second knockout. So I had a really top tier manager, but he had already, like, he was burning bridges. He was on his way out. Like, you know, it was more on that end of like his side of things.
Right.
So once I left from him and then I came to Vegas, I didn't have a path laid out for me. It wasn't like fight this guy. We're going to get you a vacant title against some random guy. It was get it out the mud. Like nobody's going to put you A side. You're not the favorite. Like, so I wasn't supposed to be here. That's what I want, like, anybody that's coming up to understand. Like, this isn't someone like, oh, they got him a vacant title. Like, no, I was a 7-1 underdog, 12-1 to knock out, 12-1 to get the knockout, and I got that. So I'm living proof that hard work trumps anything. Like, not the natural talent. I started boxing late. I didn't have like, day one, like I'm just pure like skill and everything. I had to develop everything. So the work ethic is 1,000% what did it. So it's just living proof. Like you really can't like chase your dreams, but you just go at 100 and anything's possible. Like truly anything. You just got to work for it.
That's so cool. Like I get so inspired by that type of stuff, because really, like, that's hard to do, man. Like it's so hard to do.
It's a wild ride.
So what what do you do outside of the ring? What do you do at home now that you're the champ? You just relax, kick it? What do you do?
It's still just kicking it with the family. Like people keep telling me, oh, be careful, a lot of people are going to be trying to come around and stuff. I'm like, I don't care. My circle stays the same.
Yeah.
I don't, and especially now I'm learning, like once you make it, once you start getting money coming in, it just, it accentuates who you are. It doesn't change you. So all these people that they flipped, when they like either got a little bit of success or something, they were like that the whole time, because now I was like, I'm here, I'm tasting it.
Still the same guy.
Yeah. I'm still the same guy that just hangs out, like doesn't do anything crazy like that. Like I'm just chilling. I'm just me. I got a very tight circle, and then I'm just cool with everybody. Like, but it's not. Nothing changes, so it's still my same schedule, just kicking it with my same like 3 friends.
Yeah,
and like that's it, and then meeting tons of great people though. Like I met you recently, bro.
Yeah.
The connections I'm making are insane. Like I'm grateful for all that stuff, But
just more opportunities been presented.
Yeah, exactly, huge opportunities.
But you've been still the same guy.
Yeah, people will always see like how like relatable I am because I'm not some cringy like, oh, I made it, like don't talk to me. Like that's never gonna be me. I think that's super weird.
Yeah. I mean, you're the champ now, so you're gonna
Yeah.
have everybody coming after you. But
Oh, that's a different story, but they can come because yeah, they can do whatever they want because I'm working harder than ever now. This again, like I said, nothing changes. I don't feel like I made it. I have other goals. I have bigger goals. So, like you have that like hit of dopamine and everything. Like, oh yo, I got this belt, and it's like, all right, what's next?
yeah, what's
It's
next?
always chasing that next like it's like adrenaline junkie. Like I'm always chasing that next one. So I have more hunger than ever, and then I got some more belts to collect. So
Yes, you
yeah,
do.
yes
Time to
sir.
take over the division, man.
Absolutely, 1000%. Closer than ever.
Yeah, just thinking about that, and you're saying like I got that dopamine hit. Like right after you got that win, you just flexed on it, man. That's
Yeah,
got to be an incredible feeling.
it is because everything hits, like more than like the materialistic, like the belt or like actually getting your hand raised. It's what it represents.
Yeah.
What does this belt represent? That's what that's what it is. I don't bro, my parents were crying ringside like their kid did it. Like bro, that's
That's so
the
cool.
hype is real. Like,
Yeah.
is I'm freaking choking up a little bit.
Yeah.
As much as like when you imagine it, like yo, like being able to tell your parents that it is every bit as like satisfaction, like that feeling of satisfaction is just it is insane. So that's what it is. That's what you were seeing. Just like the work paid off, like sacrificing like all these like it's been about 10 years now, 10 years of nothing, just boxing. School, I'll schedule it around boxing. Any side jobs I would get, it better be like on my terms because it's around boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not skipping training. um Broke up with every girl I dated because I was missing stuff, because I had to leave to Vegas, because
Mm-hmm.
I sacrificed everything. It's worth it. That's what hits home more than anything. Like yo, it paid off. Like that's the feeling and the emotion you see. Like it paid off. My parents, like I get to tell my mom I made it. Like
Yeah.
bro, that's so crazy.
That's so
It
awesome.
is insane.
Yeah. So when you went back to Solace Gym, how was that like? Did you get an ovation? Did people see you or?
No, it is crazy, but I'm waiting because we have a little surprise for Silas. Might get him a little training belt or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Well deserved.
yeah,
Well
oh,
deserved.
big
Yeah.
time, man.
Yeah.
Especially that, like, if when I look at videos, I have a video from the day I met Salas hitting mitts and stuff. Man, I cringe. Like, the how far I've come is just it is
You're like,
crazy.
I used to throw punches like that.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what was I doing? What was I thinking? And we literally just from the foundation, just the building the fundamentals and everything, just tore everything down, like fixed some things, improved on some things, and just how far everything's come in these years is just crazy. But yeah, man, it's thanks to people like Salas, my strength and conditioning coach Tony Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they like he now gives me the gas tank and the like just everything to execute the boxing side of it. So they've gone hand in hand, and I'm just super thankful, grateful. I'm just blessed, man.
So happy. It's just like I'm inspired right now just hearing it.
Thank you,
Yeah, it
man.
gets me excited because it's
Yeah.
like people don't understand that work you have to really put in. Like
Oof,
it's long
yeah.
days,
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
2 a days, and like they just don't get it, and all
Yeah.
they see is just you in the ring,
Yeah.
and that's it. And it's either you win or you lose, and if you lose, you're put to
Nobody
the back.
cares. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on. Yeah.
But they didn't realize you just put in 3 months of
Ah.
conditioning and training and really like exerting your body
Yeah.
just to see like how far you can go, and
Yeah, like even in my last fight, cause just always keep working. Don't get discouraged. Like I wasn't getting fights that often, and we just kept training. I was out in Oakland helping Mario Barrios get ready for a fight, and then we came back, and the Tony Brady was with us the whole time, and we just work, just leveling up. And then they called us to on this comeback road. They called me in 10 days notice to fight Jason Rosario. He was a former unified world
mm-hmm.
champion, so he was at the top. And again, huge underdog. It was last minute fight, and 10 days. But I was like, I just had a 7 months training camp.
Yeah, you've been ready.
It's been 7 months of no breaks, no
Yeah,
vacation, no party.
just
Seven
waiting for
months
that
of
call.
I'm gonna get a call. I'm gonna get a call. I'm
Yeah,
gonna get a call.
yeah.
And they called 10 days. I was like, Okay, cool. Oh, it's got to be at a weight class above. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't negotiate. I said, please get me that fight. I
Yeah.
need the opportunity more than anything. I didn't negotiate the money. I didn't negotiate the weight. Keep the money, keep the weight, your weight, wherever you're comfortable, just get me that opportunity. So it's just that belief in yourself. And then people were like, oh, 10 days notice, that's really cool. Like, people are really hinting at like overnight success type of stuff. Like, bro, it took me 10 years to become an overnight success.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it that way.
Yeah. That's the story. Mario was at their fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the homie. That when I said I got like three friends, man. I got Abram Martinez, another close homie, great fighter coming
Yeah.
up. Mario Barrios and my boy Andy Dominguez. But everybody's coming up. Everybody's like handling business, and we're just getting it, man. But no, yeah, they always show tons of love. Mario actually he flew out specifically to LA for that to support, man. Just show love.
That's so cool, man. That's what I love to see. And man, I appreciate you for coming on the show right now.
No, thank
I
you.
want
for
to give
having
a
me.
shout out
Pleasure.
to Coach Flores for the connection, man.
Yes, sir.
He's a solid guy. I love that guy so much.
Oh
So,
yeah, man.
eh,
One of the connections I made, like I met him before, but now like we're working together a little while
yeah,
on the business side of things, man. Great dude, cool dude, stand up guy, man.
he
So
is. He's a
definitely
stand-up guy. He
appreciate it.
works really hard. He's smart in boxing,
Yeah.
and he really knows how to go out there and make sure like his son is taken care of. He's
Oh,
looking out for you
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
everything. So like, mad love to him. Thank you for the connection, Coach. And
Yes, sir.
it was an honor for you to be on here, man. Thank you for coming on, and I'm just so excited. Regardless if it's Charlo or whoever's next, I already know you're gonna, keep winning and stay a
Oh
champ
man.
and keeping it going and making your city and your whole state proud, man. And
Nah, thank you,
it
man. I
was an
really
honor.
appreciate that, man. Pleasure to be here, man. The honor's mine,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So everybody, where can they follow you?
So my main is Instagram at La Bala Mendoza. Just the nickname, all my last name, all one word at La Bala Mendoza. But I'm everywhere. Facebook, even TikTok. Not too heavy on that, but definitely Twitter. And yeah, so just you guys follow along. Keep up lots of behind the scenes stuff. Just everything through camp. See what I go through to get ready for these fights and stuff. But yeah, just come along for the ride. Still got a long way to go.
Brian Mendoza in the house, everybody. The WBC Interim Champion. Let's go.
Crazy.
Thank you for coming in, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Did it?
Bro, thank you
There
so
we
much.
go.